The Department of Landscape and Natural Resources and Arboretum are responsible for managing the entire outdoor environment of the UCF campus, which includes about 60% of natural lands and conservation easement, in addition to the hundreds of acres of manicured landscapes that we have here on campus. The Department of Landscape and Natural Resources is primarily responsible for the management and operation of that landscape. We engage hundreds of students per year in our service learning opportunities that we have here.
The Arboretum is both a set of trails and a place of actual land, and a program that is a place for engaging with the natural world, a place for learning and for meeting others within the community. They can engage in the community garden, urban forestry, landscaping, and natural area management. So we can have the individual volunteers help in various areas of the community garden. So whatever needs to be maintained for that day, if we're planting trees or we're weeding or we're mulching.
We have this plot here and I help maintain it and take care of it. Things are changing out seasonally, but right now we have some sweet basil as well as some lemon basil. We have some sorrel, it's really delicious, a citrusy tasting lettuce. We also have a peach tree in the corner.
We pretty much cover all the bases in terms of if you can use it in the kitchen or in a medicinal way. We probably grow some variation of it.
When you're tilling soil and you're lifting wheelbarrows of wood chips or soil or compost and you're really exerting energy, but you're putting it into something really positive afterwards, it's really cathartic and releasing.
We encourage kind of a biodiversity approach to growing. You don't plant just vegetables in a plot because then you get certain types of pests and you only attract certain types of bugs. So we plant pollinator attractants as well as bug deterrents, so more aromatic smelling stuff like mints and lemongrasses. Native flowers brings in a lot of pollinators, and you need that for your tomatoes and eggplants. Anything that has, a flower and a seeding fruit. We also plant legumes and beans that fix nitrogen beneath the soil. Some of the most gratifying times are when we do like our harvest festival. That's where we essentially gather the harvest at the end of the season and everyone takes it home, cooks it, prepares it and brings it back, and we kind of discuss it.
This semester we were able to incorporate not only the campus dietitian through Health and Wellness Promotions Department, but also the viewing of a documentary, Ingredients, which focuses on food in our country.
And this is going to be added to the nice, surprisingly lovely salad tomorrow.
Me growing my own food, it's more than just the food. It's about supporting a local movement, encouraging other people to grow their food.
It really culminates the entire experience for the season, and it ties in that whole community thing. You kind of create this thing holistically from seed all the way to dinner plate, and it's a cool journey.
Our volunteer program also incorporates students into the management of our natural areas.
We have several thousand trees just in the inner circle here that are part of the landscape. We try to take care of the trees, prune them and structurally shape the trees so that they're healthy trees on campus, and try to manage diseases and nutrient issues that the trees may have. We usually use the volunteers mainly to structure and shape these trees here in the Arboretum, which is the educational component here for learning about trees. We're basically going to be pruning up some of the palm trees. We have some trees over here that have been covered in grapevine, and it's usually maintained by fire in natural systems, but in a natural area meeting an urban area like this, they can kind of come in and start to grow over the canopy of the tree, and the tree can't grow. Probably one of our most commonly planted trees is the live oak. It's a species of oak that lives for a very, very long time and is very, very strong and not susceptible as much to storm damage. We try to use almost all native species in our landscape. They're adapted to our climate and soils. They're resourceful in that they don't need a lot of fertilizer or chemicals to maintain them, and they help uptake excess fertilizers and nutrients that are running off from the irrigated areas. We have a lot of pine trees as well, like slash pine and longleaf pine. Another common one we use is tulip poplar. It's a deciduous type of tree that loses its leaves in the winter, but it grows very fast and tall and spreading and provides a nice canopy, and it's also a native tree. But live oak is probably one of our predominant species.
On the university campus, we have just about all of the natural areas that are located in the state of Florida. We have everything from upland pine flatwoods to cypress domes to oak hammocks. We have endangered species on campus. We have the gopher tortoise that we're always working to conserve the land for. There are hundreds of animals that depend on that gopher tortoise burrow to survive. So when the tortoises are removed, you're potentially removing all of these other animals that depend on the tortoise in that habitat. And So this area really is a picture of the entire state of Florida, and we have a great opportunity here to do management in an urban setting.
The wildland-urban interface is the area to which urban or residential communities are backing up to a woodland area. And that's important to UCF so that we can understand urban ecology and how we grow and maintain habitat connectivity in a forever changing system, including the piping of stormwater into detention basins.
This area is being restored as a corridor between two habitats, and we are interested in moving plants from another part of campus into this area. It's the same habitat type. You can see over here we're right up against the houses. So the idea is to use this area as a corridor for animals to be able to move. We want to engage the student body in this type of research so that they have an appreciation for the area that's around them. And it gives us an opportunity to get with students, teach them a little bit about the plants.
A lot of our plants here in Florida are adapted or dependent upon being lit on fire. So here, it's got this massive potato system basically up underground, where when the fire will come through, all this will get completely burnt off. It still has this giant starch holder right here, so it can instantly re-sprout right after the fire.
And this area is right off of the trails that are in our natural land, so these students have access to this area and they can see how they're really making a difference.
The course is a service learning class. Students spend a majority of their curriculum out in the field developing and learning real-world scientific applications for questions that are emerging in our field.
My project was based on the extensive green roof on the Physical Science 1 building. We have established 3 different species on the ground, and now we're transplanting to the roof to see that once we change the climate, what plants take to that and what's more effective to have them up there. We chose drought-resistant species that are here on campus, and we'll see what happens.
If we can create a mini ecosystem up there of these native plants that are thriving and doing well, they're just putting that seed out there and they become a continuous seed bank for our natural systems.
This is like a solutions class. It's hands-on. We're doing things that can make a difference.
And that's important to UCF so that we can understand urban ecology and how we grow and maintain habitat connectivity, how we can create more natural environments within those systems to help preserve the integrity of the whole ecosystem on campus.
We just renovated live oak, went from overgrown and not so attractive to xeric. We incorporated the native landscape and spilled over.
Through the years, the Arboretum has helped foster a more sustainable landscape by integrating ideas such as Florida-friendly plant material, which requires less watering, less fertilization, and responds better to the climate in Florida. Additionally, they help us enhance the landscapes by adding beds or specially landscaped areas that demonstrate specific techniques that could be used in either private industries or residential communities.
We renovated this garden 2 years ago, and I went for really nice softer texture. You can do a lot of color without ever having a flowering plant, which is right here, the bromeliads. We have yellow here on the bamboo.
We have transitioned more towards demonstrating more sustainable landscapes like xeriscaping, where you're utilizing Florida-friendly plants so that we're not as dependent upon those natural resources.
We have the same climate we have here in Florida all over the globe. It gets very hot in the summer because it's very enclosed. It gets cold in the winter. So you put plants in there that are succulent, which means very low water. We have the Mediterranean landscape, including Italian cypress, oleander from Morocco. We have Italian herbs as ground cover. Look at what you have, and there's a plant for it without you having to do any adjustment. What I do with my coworker, we couldn't do without volunteers. So the volunteers get all the credit. They come help us maintain, they come help us plant. They're very energetic, they're eager to learn, and they're the vein of our operation here.
The Arboretum contributes to the university goal of creating partnerships by connecting with established or reputable organizations. Our more recent partnership opportunity with the Central Florida Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area has been through hosting a grasses workshop annually.
This has a membranaceous, a foliate membranaceous legule. And grass is fun. Look at how important you can sound when you talk about this stuff. It's really a good one to see. Hold it into the sun, look through here. When it's pulled back, it's white and it looks like a little comb. So everybody pulls some smut grass,
which supports land managers, resource managers, and landscape technicians learning about how to identify native grasses and also non-native and nuisance species, and connects and bridges gaps between those agencies so that we can develop best management practices that we can share to help manage these systems efficiently, safely, and effectively. We create those partnerships to help provide curriculum and training opportunities to our students and staff, but also to help formulate strategies to manage our natural lands and landscapes most efficiently and effectively.
We also offer other workshops to analyze and deconstruct how behavior in the environment plays into people's daily actions. The workshops are just part of that whole thing, so answering questions that people might have, guiding them to resources that exist that we know of, just collaborating and meeting people, and really to empower the person so that they can feel that they're able to contribute to a better environment just simply by making better choices. And so the tours are a delightful way for people to view any of our areas that I mentioned for volunteering. We had the Creative School for Children come out. I went to the community garden, which we've just recently planted trees, and then also to the nature trail portion where they could see actual trees in the woods. So our tours are open to everyone from preschool to senior citizen, and we invite everyone to submit a tour application so we can really tailor the tour for your group as best we can. When they come to our workshops or to volunteer, come for a tour, we really just want them to leave with a general understanding of the natural world, the way that ecosystem processes work, and the ways for them to engage with it in a positive fashion so they can then implement these into their daily lives.